let me remind you that Esperienza is doing something very unique. We are the alternative of mass tourism. We are offering not just opportunity to visit Italy, we offer opportunities to be transformed, to make personal discoveries through meaningful, memorable, and above all, people-centered travel experiences in rural Italy, where we believe one can experience the culture in its most authentic, raw form. This is what we aim at. And such experiences are regenerative and enriching for everyone involved, not just us, the travelers, but also for the hostess, for all the hosts that we have there. And today is a special, very special day for all of us at Esperienza and for our growing network of supporters, friends in rural Italy, because we're going to talk about Casa Artusi and Pellegrino Artusi. And I don't want to forget something important. So forgive me for starting from the end, from the end, but we got this award. We got this Esperienza was recognized this year by the famous Italian foundation, Casa Artusi, for our work of promoting authentic travel exposure to Italian cuisine. So we are very, very proud that we have been noticed and recognized. And now I'm going to switch to the beginning. But I didn't want to miss this opportunity to tell you about this very important recognition for our work, especially because it's coming from Italy and from the foundation, which we'll be talking about, because if Susy allow me the comparison, even so it's unfair, just as Esperienza is not your usual travel company, in the same way, but on a much bigger scale, a Casa Artusi is absolutely not your usual cooking school. It's a foundation and so much more. It's a nonprofit dedicated to promoting this very rare, very precious nowadays, where AI is everywhere and technology is everywhere, one of the most humane of all activities, what truly brings creativity and joy to our life, the home cooking. This is what Casa Artusi is dedicated and celebrating. So let's start from the beginning. Again, I will let my memory goes back in time. Why Casa Artusi? I heard for the first time about Casa Artusi from my late husband, Massimo Bonavita. He was one of the visionaries who started the idea and who contributed to the foundation of Casa Artusi. It was his dream. He was absolutely a gourmand and admirer of bon gustaio, as it's called in Italian. He wanted to share all these treasures of Italian cuisine with his American friends. That was one of his dreams. And Casa Artusi was the vehicle, was to be the vehicle. He never got a chance to do it in person, but in a way, Esperienza is continuing and expanding on his dream. So Casa Artusi is where I have been visiting many times while living in Italy. And I was more and more starting in even, at the very beginning, 2007. And then later, it was always a reference point for me because whenever I step in the large complex that Casa Artusi is, I felt enriched. I mean, I have had one of the most interesting discussions with various experts, professors, chefs. I mean, there's such a rich cultural experience to be there, way beyond the culinary school. But the culinary school is super important, and I cannot take enough lessons, really. There's always something new to learn. So in 2018, we began our first direct experience. The first group arrived at Casa Artusi then, and this is when I met Susy and we began our collaboration. And I was there during COVID in 2021 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of Pellegrino Artusi groundbreaking.
2020.
Yeah, correct. So there's so many beautiful moments there besides the good meals, which were always there, one better than the other. And we continued through COVID. I mean, we had the serious, I guess, monthly cooking lessons with the chefs. We were the first who started virtual online cooking lessons with Casa Artusi. We're devising the position of lighting. Yes, everything was new and exciting. And then we restarted again our direct hands-on cooking learning experiences in 2022. And there is bright future ahead of us that I might have a chance to tell you more later, but stay tuned because even more deeper possibilities for immersion are coming your way. Linda, stay tuned, especially Linda. One of your dreams might come true. So enough of me talking. I would like Susy to tell us a little bit about Casa Artusi herself, because Susy is the person who made it happen with her. She gave it all. I have never seen someone working so hard on so many levels and directing the organization to such heights. Truly, I mean, I believe what we have here, all admirers of Susy, and I'm one of them. But Susy, please tell us more about Casa Artusi.
We are all lucky, because it's a blessing when you have a chance during your life because of your work to find something you like, something you share, you totally share, like Esperienza mission, Anna, when you first started talking about Esperienza and, it's like when you go on a tour and you find friends, okay? You share values with people and then makes things happen. And then, of course, we had the shade of Artusi, going around. We have been lucky. I mean, we didn't do anything for that. Pellegrino Artusi, the gentleman who is considered worldwide father of Italian gastronomy, was born in this little town in Forlimpopoli, where few of the people that we have together tonight, today, the pleasure to visit with me, was born. And so Casa Artusi Foundation is the very first cultural center dedicated to gastronomy to be set, of course, on Artusi, which bears Artusi's name. Linda will be able to explain, like me, and even better than me, about Artusi, because she's a fan, of course. This gentleman, thanks to this gentleman, we have the first national Italian cookbook. Mr. Pellegrino Artusi was able to publish this book after unification of Italy. As we always say when we meet, we are so proud, when we welcome people in Emilia-Romagna to share these 2,200 years history from Roman times on and even beyond. But we have to remind that Italy is a young country. We became a country in 1861. Artusi published this book in 1891. Since that time is in every houses, and now thanks to Esperienza, I saw from before we started talking, Anna, exactly, also people in US showing Artusi's book. So you are already Italian, you're already in the mood.
Well, it's an exciting time, exciting opportunities. But let's go for a moment back to the basics, Susy, because it will be linked to what we'll be talking later. But would you remind us the founding principles of Pellegrino Artusi's approach to cuisine?
Yeah, Artusi was not a cook. He was a businessman. He was used to travel all over the peninsula of Italy because of his business. For sure, he was a gourmet. He appreciated good food. And for sure, he was curious. So every time he used to be guests of people he was doing business with. And you know that in Italy, when we say things like that, I mean, when we talk about Italy, we talk about deeply different region. As we always say, Artusi's cuisine is a mosaic, okay? He was able to collect recipes in the houses of Italian people. So what he was dealing with, it was dealing with Italian own cooking. Reading his book, you can read, you can share, you can feel the identity of Italian cuisine, which is not a national recipe, but is the same way of facing Italian cuisine. The same is a kind of a cultural approach that we have about the cuisine. Anyhow, if you go on Esperienza website, we pointed the kind of it's a kind of a little summary of Artusi's book with, I mean, it has 790 recipes, so it's not easy to make a summary. But what is important is a kind of principle, being simple, being seasonal. If you change something according to your taste in a recipe, do it with grace. Be patient, because good things need time. And so on. And since it was a nice spirit, if we had to finish, I mean, to put, kind of full stop to the summary. And so we quote Artusi that after writing 15 edition of a cookbook, he decided to say, never trust a cookbook.
Well, I imagine Pellegrino Artusi in a way celebrated even more at this time, because November has become a special time to, I mean, for how many years we have had this week of Italian cuisine?
This is the 10th edition, 10 years.
Yes, yes.
We
So
started in 2000 and, I mean, it's not true. We started in 2016 because 2015 Expo, the international exhibit, took place in Milan. And the Expo is the international exhibition, it's the large scale event that takes place every 5 years. The first was in London in 1851. And the last, I mean, this year, 2025, was in Osaka, in Japan. Next will be 2030, not decided yet where. They are nominated places, but they're not decided. So is the event where nations gather to showcase innovation, creativity, and culture around a universal and shared theme. And of course, in 2015, in Milan, in Italy, was about food.
So, how exactly this week of Italian cuisine is related to Casa Artusi and Pellegrino Artusi? Would you please enlighten us?
Sure. So let's go back to how it started. I mean, we were talking, okay, how it started. In 2015, the theme was feeding the planet energy for life. So it was about sustainability, food safety, quality, territory, biodiversity, identity, education, okay? And Casa Artusi was there. We used to be in the Italian pavilion talking about Italian food culture. I mean, this is what we do. This is what Casa Artusi Foundation does with Artusi's book, okay? So after that experience, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation decided to propose this event, this yearly event. It takes place every year. In Italy, we already had another experience of a week dedicated to Italian language. Okay, just to give you an idea, this year has been the 25th anniversary of the week of Italian language. So we have kind of a long experience about this, okay? The idea of the ministry when we met for the first time, they said, we want to promote local products and local food culture. I mean, so food and its values. We want to share awareness about PDO and PGI products. I mean, today with us, there are people who have already been in Emilia-Romagna, so they know that Parmigiano Reggiano, balsamic vinegar are a PDO product, like mortadella and piadina are a PGI. It's a symbol, is a guarantee of quality for the consumers, okay? It has a we produce this product with very strict rules. Then if there are people interested in it, I will be more than happy to share. And to fight against imitation is what we call Italian sounding. Parmesan cheese is not Parmigiano Reggiano. I mean, maybe it's a good cheese. If you decided to buy it and have it, it's up to you. But we don't want people to think I'm having an Italian product, which is not. Okay, it's just a matter of being, fair. And then they say we want to enhance the Mediterranean diet and its health benefits. And then they say we want to enhance the sustainability of production processes. And of course, we want to promote Italian food itineraries. So, how it works? It is managed by the Italian diplomatic network abroad, so Italian embassies in foreign country, consulate, the Italian Cultural Institute, and of course in collaboration with universities, academies, trade associations, and so on. The activity which are proposed every year are seminaries, conferences, exhibitions, and of course, food and wine tasting, cooking classes, gala dinners, and so on. So every year, the ministry, with the head of the promotional country system, in collaboration with selected partners, develops a series of projects and content to be made available for the foreigner network offices, kind to enrich their organized initiatives. And these selected partners are Casa Artusi, and few others. Karen showed us some of the. No, it's fine. It was just to have an idea. So since we were involved in Expo, and since Artusi's father of Italian gastronomy, and the mission of Casa Artusi Foundation is to spread, to enhance, to simply share Italian food culture, we have been selected by the ministry as partners. So it doesn't mean that if you are an Italian embassy in Chicago, a consulate in Chicago, or you are an embassy in India or whatever, you have to organize event with Casa Artusi. No, there are kind of a set of proposals. If that year the ambassador or the consul or the director of Italian Culinary Institute decided to focus on particular theme, they can call Casa Artusi. What Casa Artusi proposes has been previously authorized by the ministry. And anyhow, it's also true that every year there is a theme, a title, and so on. But anyhow, this year, Anna, 2025th edition has been the 10th edition.
Where are you invited this year, Susy? Where is Casa Artusi invited this year?
Oh, not me, of course, but Casa Artusi Foundation, they, Mattia, the gastronome and the chef of the cookery school, they have been to Brussels, which is where the headquarters of the European Union is. On Thursday, they leave for New York, and somebody is already in Argentina, somebody is already in Brazil. They will, after New York, they will go to Indonesia. But you know, Anna, in the past, we were used to have this event, we have to take a flight to go there. Do you remember in 2020, because of the global pandemic? And Artusi was born in 1820, so it was our 200th birthday anniversary. We had, I don't know how many events, how many agreements signed to go all over the world, and then everything disappeared. And thanks to Esperienza, we were able, to set the very first experience of online things. And at the end, I don't know if you remember, Anna, but we had 98 events in 37 different countries. Only in 2020. I know it sounds weird because global pandemic was such a sad time for everybody, but at the same time we discovered that we have so many instruments to share culture. I always say culture because I mean food culture, okay? So share values to get new acquaintance, and it was something, because it was the very first time. Usually the average number of countries of foreign countries is 14, 16, but that year in 2020, they were 37. Not bad.
Quite an impact. Well,
Yes.
we are doing it virtually right now, and I feel like you are sitting in front of me, yet I'd rather be in Forlì Populi.
Do you remember the first time I met Linda when she came to Forlimpopoli with you, Anna, and the group? And what she said when she introduced herself, she said, "I'm Linda and I have legs." Of course, it's
My
Linda. Of
gosh.
course.
Yes. Yes.
Of course.
I know there'll be, I mean, our followers are all over United States, but also the Settimana will be celebrated all over United States with various events on the East Coast, on the West Coast, Midwest,
Yeah,
everywhere.
from LA to from
Yeah.
New York to yeah, so
I I know there's an event in New York, but please check with the closest Italian cultural center or
or
institute, or
consulate,
yes,
exactly. You simply
because
dial if there is
yeah,
an event open to the public. I'm sure they will be more than pleased. And of course, do not forget to bring your book. We want those people to know that you are already being, involved in the Italian lifestyle.
yes,
Anyhow, as we were mentioning, Anna, every year there's a theme. And this year was Italian cuisine, culture, health, and innovation.
yes, it's I like the sim. I mean, actually, I find most of the sim most, I mean, interesting calls and stimulating, but um, when I talk to people, I know very often they associate um, Italian cuisine with traditions and not exactly with innovation.
I
So,
know, I know. I don't know if I ever had a chance to share, but we've always been lucky in Casa Artusi because we have a scientific committee with the most clever and incredible people like Professor Massimo Montanari, who is a food historian. And when I first met him in Casa Artusi in 2007, all the journalists, especially, so you're right, Anna, especially in the foreigner one, were like focused on tradition, like, okay, Artusi's book is Once Upon a Long Ago, blah, blah, blah. And this is really interesting because Professor Montanari said when you deal with home cooking, making discussion between tradition and innovation is a nonsense because every day in our kitchen, we experiment. If I talk with you, Anna, and you share with me a recipe that belonged to your grandmother, for sure it will not be 100% as your mother used to do it. First of all, because we have refrigerators. Then we have blender, we have food processor, we have this and that and blah, blah, blah. So every day, he said, we experiment. If something turns out to be a good practice, it becomes an habit. Day by day, habit will become tradition. Being tradition, it doesn't mean to be stuck in the past. It means to be sure of your root, who you are, where you come from. Not only in Italy, everywhere in the world. I remember another very famous chef in Italy, Massimo Bottura of Osteria Francescana in Modena, is a 3 Michelin star. It has been awarded for the best restaurant of the 50 best twice in the past. And he had this interview with a journalist of the Independent of London. The journalist knew that he was close friend of Ferran Adrià, another chef in Spain, who does professional cuisine. And he said, "Oh, okay, by the way, do you have a cookbook?" And Chef Massimo Bottura answered as, of course, I have on my kitchen shelf and in my library Artusi's book. And the journalists turned like, you can find this interview, huh? If you dial Bottura Artusi Independent, you find it online. And the journalist said, do you want me to believe that you cook Artusi's recipe? And Massimo Bottura say, that's what I mean. That books remind me every day who I am and where I come from. So one of his icon dishes is the crust of the lasagna, which is the super crispy surface of the lasagna. It's the part of the lasagna everybody's fighting for. Okay. And since he's creative, since he's a chef and blah, 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 he does this in a little glass and you eat it with a spoon. But when you do that, you got that kind of experience because, they are artists. They give you a chance to live an experience, okay? During a tour, one of our guests joking with me say, oh, I would like to have a pizza, and say, okay, I mean, why not? We can find a place where you can grab a piece of pizza. Just know that we are not in Naples. So, I mean, we do good, but okay, we're not the very top. He was joking with me and say, can we have it with pineapple? And I said, don't be ridiculous. Nothing against pineapple, but nobody will think about pineapple. Of course, you can have your own pizza with your own dresses, of course, but pineapple does not exist in Italy. We import them. So who would try to put pineapple on? It's not a matter of taste. I mean, I have nobody to judge the taste of people. People can do what they want. But if you want me to say it's still pizza with pineapple, no. You call it pasta, I don't know, cooked pasta as I like, and it will be a great dish for you, but this is not pizza.
Well, I can only agree, and it's such a beautiful discussion about how dynamic traditions are actually in
Yes,
Italy.
this is the reason why with a kind of we want to provoke a discussion, and we said culture, health, and innovation. And innovation helps a lot to produce healthy food, to preserve them, to catch the flavor. I mean, we have tomatoes 3 months a year in Emilia-Romagna, in the south of Italy, a little bit longer. We need to find the best way out to can, because this can be something that we export. I mean, this summer, I made tomato sauce with my mom, which is great, but I mean, it's for the family. You cannot export that because there are no safety health rules for that. Okay, so this is important. I mean, if the goal is to share Italian food culture, we need to find a way to how to export, of course. And since the goals of the Settimana of della Cucina Italiana is, first of all, planet and people, of course, innovation helps people. And if you do it in the right way, and we are improving, of course, it helps the planet.
Beautiful.
But you know all
Susie.
this. We have been discussing about this several times, Hannah.
Well, it's an ongoing discussion, and it's one of the reasons why I'm embracing the Italian cuisine wholeheartedly. I cannot say it. Yes.
So this
I know
year,
we can continue. And I'm still dreaming
because
about.
we got distracted. We got distracted.
Yes,
So
yes,
this
yes.
year
I'm also dreaming about this dish that Massimo Bottura has created with the crust. But
Karen, as always, when we start talking about food, Anna started salivating. She got confused, so we need to keep the schedule.
Yeah,
yes, and we're approaching lunchtime.
Yeah.
We're approaching lunchtime, so we better be careful. But let's talk about something even bigger than the settimana, the week of Italian cuisine.
Yeah, yeah. It
Because
started in
you've been involved in something very, very
Casa Artusi.
impressive.
Has been done. I
Yes,
was just
yes,
testimony.
yes,
I
yes.
was
So
there.
please tell us about this application that
Yes, yes, my
you have
pleasure.
started.
Strictly related to the theme of the 10th edition of the week. The goals this year are, of course, dealing about healthy, balanced, and sustainable model. Showcase the innovation and research driving Italy agri-food chain. I know that Marianne is there, so she would appreciate for sure. From production to processing, packaging, distribution, consumption, reuse, and recycling. And here we go to the point, to promote greater awareness of Italian cuisine because the Ministry of, in Italy, the Ministry of Agriculture and the Ministry of Culture candidated for inscription on UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage List, the Italian cuisine.
Yeah, it's a very big thing.
It's a very big thing. Let me update the candidation project started during the global pandemic in 2020. This, I think, is the on the magazine La Cucina Italiana, which is a magazine that you also have in United States. This is January 2021, so we started work it during 2020. I mean, we have plenty of time during the global pandemic, so the selected partner of the Settimana della Cucina Italiana, which are Casa Artusi, the Accademia Italiana della Cucina, and the magazine La Cucina Italiana. We started having appointment online, sharing, talking with the chefs and everything. And this project, we started delineated this project. And it has been presented in 2023. And let me update you because this is new. I mean, we got this information on Monday. At present, we know that dossier that we presented has been approved. It means the dossier is properly written. It's complete. It has been accepted. We cannot say more than that because the evaluation process would be completed by December in 2025, so by the end of December, and it will take place in India. So what we can do is keep this picture, please, Karen. What we can do is share with you what lead all these partners to the candidacy. Okay, so as I said, the partners and our Casa Artusi Foundation, the Accademia Italiana della Cucina, which is a cultural association founded in 1953. I know there are Accademia Italiana della Cucina also in many towns in US, okay? And the goal are always, I mean, our shared goal, they aim to safeguarding and promoting Italian cuisine and gastronomic culture in Italy and abroad. And the magazine, La Cucina Italiana. You have this magazine also in your house. You have the English version, okay? Let me share you with this because sometimes things happen. The magazine was established in 1929 and it is now the most distinguished and long-standing monthly cooking publication in Italy and worldwide, 1929. In 1932, as the picture that Karen shows, they had an interview with Marietta Sabatini, with Artusi's maid. if you have been looking on TV on Netflix of the series Downton Abbey, Marietta Sabatini is Mrs. Hugh for Mr. Pellegrino Artusi, okay? Mrs. Hugh for Mr. Artusi, okay? She had an interview on this magazine because, of course, published in 1911, in 1929, Artusi passed in 1911. One of the very first interview and the first thing they started talking about Artusi. Okay, so when we were all there, it was like, you have, once again, Anna, you need to share value. You need to have common value. Then you have a community, like happened with Esperienza. So we start in thinking, not me personally, I simply used to get things organized, but those great Italian professors and food and history expert. And the candidacy is Italian cuisine, sustainability, and biocultural diversity. So we push on that world, okay? We push on the word, not biodiversity, but biocultural diversity, because I'm sure that most of the people that are online today, they have been in Italy, you know that Italian cuisine is a mosaic. Okay, so the mosaic of these territorial traditions reflects the country's biocultural diversity and is based on a kind of a common denominator of conceiving the moment of preparation and consumption of a meal. This is the reason why when we start working on what to propose to our people during the culinary tour, Anna said, I want people to hear the history of Artusi. I want our people to cook. I want our people to share a meal. Okay, so is how we conceive the moment of preparation of consumption of a meal at a table as an opportunity of sharing and discussion. So once again, what is candidate is not the food, is not a dish, or not a single, is the mosaic of the biocultural diversity. Do you remember, Hannah, I shared with you the sentence that Professor Massimo Montanari wrote when we started talking about this intangible heritage. Food is tangible, it's something that you eat, okay? So it's not untangible heritage. And he said, let me find it so I can read it. Here we are. The idea is not so obvious if we are slicing zucchini or enjoying tortellini. But it must be clear that it's not the products or the recipes that are candidates, but rather the knowledge, the savoir-faire, the gestures from which those reality arise. Ultimately, the way of thinking and related to food culture. This is how Massimo Montanari, Professor Montanari, explained at the University of Bologna, which is the alma mater, the oldest university we have in the old world, in Europe, when he presented the candidacy at the university and at the ministry. So, finger crossed.
Well, yes, I truly feel like we should arrange for a special celebration at the end of this year. But let's wait. Fingers crossed. Yes. I can't imagine otherwise, because millions admire Italian cuisine in all its forms, and also the idea, the spirit of Italian culture, where there's a seat at the table for everyone. I mean, the conviviality of it, and so much more, truly.
Yes, yes.
Um,
The
we,
the commissions, um, I mean, one of the paper that is in the dossier that we present for the candidacy collected few observation by this commission, and which is that in Italy, and I'm saying this because I'm sure that the people that have been on tour with us had a chance to have this experience, and I will be more than happy if somebody want to share, yes, it's like that or not. Me, for me, it has been different. Okay, so please feel free to say how you felt. But what we wrote is, in Italy, cooking is a way of caring of
mm,
family, friends, and guests. And it's the result, the fruit of these continuous interplay and connections and exchanges that extends from previous generation to the new one. This is something that we live when we visit Stefano and his family, Stefano and Adele, during the concert. Okay, it is also daily manifestation of creativity, and we experiment that when we visit our Michelin star Gorini or Agostini, that harks back to the Italian good life,
yeah.
of which, as you said, Anna, we are appreciated sometime around the world.
Well, I cannot wait to be back in Italy, but right now it would be wonderful, I feel, if you can open for discussions so that people can share their own passion, and ask questions if there are questions. But we are very excited for Casa Artusi and for the application for UNESCO recognition for the Italian
It has
cuisine.
been
So
a huge things, and it's been shared. So thanks to the ministry, thanks to the all the expert, thanks to the magazine La Cucina Italiana. Karen has a link of an article that appeared on the Cucina Italiana in US. So something that you can easily read. I know many of you are studying Italian, so you can read it also in the Italian version, but okay, just for a quickly for a quick read, maybe. It was so nice to see all the tables of the people, because were you
Uh,
able to recognize you?
yeah, thanks. I should have brought those up sooner while you were talking about going to Stefano's and going to, Dagorini or Il Piestrino or Chiosto del Bacco. Is that what it's called?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Um, I haven't been to that one, so I don't have the name in my tongue. But I do have all the foods in my mouth. And in my
Yeah,
deep, deep
way to
emotional memories.
yeah, Karen, way to share the pictures of food because I mean,
Yeah, well, I didn't do that yet, but we can show those while we're while we're answering questions. And I will keep an eye on the chat. Carrie is asking, did Pellegrino Artusi travel around Italy when he studied home cooking for his cookbook?
He was a businessman. He was in the business of spices and silk. So he used to be in the business all over the peninsula. Spices and silk at that time were quite unfashioned goods because they were coming from the Far East. So all the rich people of the Italian bourgeoisie wanted to have them. So yes, he used to travel from north to south. We have the only thing we don't have evidence is he has been to Sicily, but not to Sardinia, the other big island, the other island we have in Italy. This is the reason why people from Sardinia, when they visit Casa Artusi, they always complain. Yeah. Anyhow, for the first edition of the book in 1891, all the recipes that he put in the book have been collected by him during his travels. Starting from the second edition on, since we already reminded that he went through 15 editions of the book, the first edition, 475 recipe, the 15, the one you are holding in your hands, is a collection of 790 recipes, is thanks to the Italian people who had a chance to read that book. They got so involved that they started sending him letters. First of all, to thank him, but of course, as I always say, you know, we are Italian, we always find something to complain and discuss about. This was also to point him that you missed this recipe, that in our family, that in our town. So he collected the recipes, but then were the Italians who started sending him letters with the recipes. So the book is kind of a collection. This is the reason why on the first page, in every 15th edition, he never wrote written by, you know, talking about ethic, Anna, talking about ethic. He never wrote written by, he wrote compiled by Pellegrino Artusi. I don't know if I answer your question, Carrie. Feel free to ask more.
I was going to ask the question about Sicily because, I mean, we're here talking mostly about Casa Artusi and Emilia Romagna, but we did have our little trip to Sicily this
Yes,
fall.
you.
And
Yes.
I went looking for a recipe for caponata, and there was not one in Artusi, which kind of surprised me. So
Because
I went to the next
it's a
authority.
family.
Huh?
Because it's a family. It's like bread. You don't find bread recipes, and you don't find piadina recipes in Artusi's book. He assumed that everybody knows, or like the minestrone, the vegetable soup. Ever look to the recipe? It's a non-recipe. I mean, it's the title, there's a story, and there's no recipe.
Wow. Okay, well, that explains it. I did end up going to La Cucina Italiana instead because I looked in English
And then you skip to La Cucina
and I
Italiana.
was like,
Bravo.
no, these are just clickbait recipes. I don't want these.
But you know, this is a nice advice for our people. Try to skip from one place to the other. For sure, La Cucina Italiana is reliable anyhow.
Mm-hmm. And what I ended up doing, and this is something you can do. Some browsers will automatically translate the page for you, but I went to lacucinaitaliana.it because I
Okay.
thought maybe it'd be different there. Of course, it was in Italian.
It often is because it's more raw, more for Italians, less
Yes.
explanations. Yeah.
Yes, as in US, many universities, like Professor Grazia Menechella at the University of Wisconsin, she's using Artusi's book to teach Italian. I mean, I'm sure we also use the La Cucina Italiana magazine when we talk about the Italian
You
language.
just gave us a good idea for our book club, Susy.
Oh,
We're looking for a book for the book club.
Well, let's talk about, because I have few friends that are writing for La Cucina Italiana. So maybe next time we can do a Zoom with them.
That sounds
what a great
fantastic.
idea.
Not bad, huh?
Yeah. Well, with Susy, there's no end of possibilities.
Talking about food.
Yeah.
You know, it's a nice way to put people together. As we always say, food is like music and art. You don't need a common language because it deals with your feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's poetry, Susy.
I know, we are Italian, you know. We become serious only when we talk about food. And we are reliable only when we talk about food.
So I really
I saw,
like it.
yeah, it's something that we have been joking about with with Rick and Michele and with Kent. I mean, I think we were someplace and they asked me for advices where to have something, I don't know. They came back and say, oh, you were right. That was a very good place where to get this and that. And say, oh, I'm more than happy to have you starting thinking that I am reliable when I talk about food.
Well, we know you're very reliable.
Because you're a friend of mine, Karen.
Well, yeah, I have learned by experience. Anne is asking if there are any contemporary Italian cookbooks that you like or might recommend. She didn't ask recommend, but that you
Okay.
enjoy
Oh,
using.
let me tell you, I am nobody. I mean, dealing with all these food expert and food historians, it makes me aware every day that I don't know anything. So take this as a my personal thing, okay? It's not like okay. I have a dear friend of mine is from Milan. So talk about risotto. His name is it's an Italian book. It's Cucinare è un gioco.
Mm.
It means when you cook is like when you play. You need to be creative. You need to put all yourself in what you do. And his name is Sergio Barzetti. And I like this because is a dear friend, is a great professional. And before being, well, first of all, when you ask him, we have been doing seminaries, conferences together, and people like, oh, what, how you would like me to introduce you? And, everybody is concerned about chef or this or that. And saying, I'm not a chef, I'm a cook. I cook. And I cook every day. I go in the kitchen. It's a kind of, it's a nice way. And before being a good cook, good chef is a great human being. So as always, as Marietta Nadia always says, when you cook, you need to be happy.
Well, one more idea. Maybe we can bring him next time
It will be more than
to show
happy.
us how to play in the kitchen. I really would like to find out more about it.
Yeah, but it's like Artusi say, try to be curious, try to experiment, just simply, I mean, the first statement that is being simple is something that we had the chance to talk with our people during the culinary tour several times. Being simple doesn't mean to be banal. Trying to be simple, it means that you really have to be careful or of what you choose. I mean, what you choose should be necessary, it should be the best, it should be the right thing. It takes so much time to be simple. You need to be passionate to be simple. Because as I said, simple doesn't mean banal.
Mhm.
Is it correct, Karen? You say banal or banal?
Banal. I don't
Okay.
know. I actually don't know. I think so.
But okay,
That's how
that
I
is what I
say. I don't know
meant.
if it's right.
Because
I want to continue the conversation, but I also want to respect that some people are leaving right now. And before people are, too many people disappear, I want to mention that we are really looking forward to next time. And for anybody who hasn't considered, who's already never been on the culinary trip with Esperienza, don't you want to travel with Susie now? You get
you
a
want to
Tango.
come
You'll
back?
get the
Want to come
tango.
back?
Yeah, or to come back, bring your friends. Also, next month, we will have another one of these conversations with a fantastic artisan from the town of Trapani in Sicily. And we will be looking into his workshop where he creates amazing works of carving with coral. Anna, are you wearing your ring by chance? No, I didn't think you were wearing it.
Oh,
No, wrong one.
different
Okay.
link.
including nativity scenes. He has a whole bunch of them in his shop, and we're going to enjoy seeing the creations of presepi, which is the Italian word for creche or nativity scenes. So that's what we always do in December. We share that tradition in Italy with our audience. And so this year, that's where we're going to do it. So let's continue the conversation. But if you have to leave, we've at least shared those two couple things. Because I'm sure some
I saw that Linda shared the book of Lind Rossetti Casper, the Splendid Table that we always quote during our tour. And when you were do you remember, Anna, that
How can I forget?
no, I mean when we were in Modena the other time you came to Italy, and we found in the place where we were having lunch. You know, when Anna comes to Italy, we always scout, we always plan, we always, and we found that book. You know, it's a kind. May I take it as a sign? You always quote it, and the book was there.
Yeah, that's true. And I always think about this book because I don't have the page right now in front of me, but there's a certain page that says that this is paradise, to be at this place in Bertinoro called the Balcony of Romagna, to be sipping some Albana and to be looking at the view, the Mediterranean Sea in front of you. And then there's a description of Romagna and of the character of Romagnoli that is just precise to the point. It's so inspiring. Lynn Rossetto Caspar, such a treasure and so much in love with Romagna.
I'm gonna share that page with Karen, so you can share it, Karen.
Oh, Susy knows the page.
You quote that book every time we talk, Anna.
Yeah, because between Pellegrino Artusi and Lynn Rossetto Caspar, I have everything I need, truly. And cucina italiana, la cucina italiana.
There's another woman, Italian cookbook writer, that a lot of people, and it was probably the first Italian cookbook I ever had, was Marcella Hazan.
Oh yes,
where does she fit into this universe of
yeah.
Italian influence? Influencers, I would say, people
she was born in Cesenatico, so she's definitely Romagnola, as they say, but she started her work in New York, so I don't know what Susy knows about her, I'm sure.
You remember, Anna, that the first time Casa Artusi was in New York, it was, I don't remember, 2000, I don't remember, because we invited Marcella's son, who, by the way, is chef too. And the event we did in New York, we did it together. We did it with him because, you know, everybody knows her, everybody knows the book. So it was a very nice way, you know, to get in. And it has been an honor to work with him. I know Linda took a class with him, I guess. Sure. You already bother him, okay? And that book is in a way follow the story of Artusi's book. At the time of Artusi's, this book, when Italian people started moving between First and Second World War to other countries, especially North and South America, Artusi's book used to travel in the suitcases with these people. And then it used to be given as a wedding present. And the same thing happened to Marcella's book. Here it is, the classic Italian cookbook.
Linda is showing it.
Yes, of course, of course. She has been trained. She has been trained, you know.
So does anyone
Well,
else have anything they
I
want to
feel
talk
we
about?
should be sitting around a table and celebrating in a more tangible way.
Yeah, to be really Italian, we should. I mean,
Well, we can just encourage everyone
we
to
cannot
tonight
pretending being Italian without doing that.
find a way to sit around the table with some people tonight. That seems like a good
Yes, yes,
advice.
yes. It's a great
Not
idea.
tonight, tomorrow.
Anna, may I share with you and with all the people how it has been great to see. I mean, I have tears in my eyes because there are so many people there, and it's true. We do um, we do a great thing. We are so lucky because believe me, Anna, no matter if we always talk about what to share, what to give, I swear, 100%, we always receive more than what we give. Grazie.
Mm.
Well, we do it together. That's why we're so rich. All of us, all of us. I mean, I I know Francie wrote something to Susy, and whenever I feel down, I read it and I'm uplifted. I call Linda, and she reminds me of all the great things that we have done in Italy together. And again, I'm uplifted. And yes,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna mention Carrie because it's coming with more.
Yeah.
So thank you all for being here and
Mhm.
being together with us today.
Part
And
of the
feel free
family.
to write to Karen. We'd be more than happy to plan a reunion.
Yes,
All coming.
actually,
Oh, stay tuned. Very
stay
Stay
important
tuned
tuned.
things
about
are
that.
coming.
We celebrate Artusi's birthday every year here in Minnesota, and yeah, we're stay tuned.
Yeah. A lot of interesting things are coming your way, Linda.
Yeah. So
Okay.
thank you all for being here today. We're so grateful.
Grazie.
Buon
Ciao.
appetito. Buon appetito. Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao tutti. Ciao tutti.
Ciao.
Special
Ciao.
thanks
Ciao.
to also to the people who are here for the first time. Hope to see you very, very soon.
I